disregard the angles, we just write the number 56 plus 38 plus x equals 180. Okay, this is now an equation like the ones we've been solving. Okay, meaning like this is the start of a we've solved problems like this already in the last 2-3 sessions. So like the setup here is you have some sort of a problem and you draw a picture and then you get it down to an equation, and we'll do some more like this. So the first thing to do is to combine like terms, to add the 56 and the 38. So if you got a calculator handy, could you add those together for us, please?
56. So are you adding 56 plus 38 or 56
Yes,
plus
yes.
itself? Okay.
Plus 38. You're not solving it, you're combining like terms.
Oh, okay. 94.
Okay. So it's 94 plus x equals 180. So now we're solving. We're solving now, and this is where you look at the side with the variable. Look at the side with the variable, the left side of the equation. What do you do to undo this 94?
I don't know.
It's adding, right? So to undo addition,
What would you add though?
you undo addition with subtraction. Subtract 94 from both sides.
Oh wait, never mind. I was confused because I was like, I don't know what the other number would be.
That's right. And so you look at the side with the variable and you undo the stuff on the side with the variable.
So 180 minus 94.
Yep.
86?
It equals 86. Okay. So, a couple of takeaways, right? The first is that all the angles in a triangle, they add up to 180, right? So if I give you a new problem here, like let me give you a triangle like this, and I tell you that this is 65 degrees, and this is 52 degrees, and this is X degrees. What do these three angles have to add up to?
180?
180. So you can write an equation: 65 plus 52 plus X equals 180. So will you try to solve that for it, please?
$63? X equals 63?
Equals 63. Good. Okay. So you don't have to write an equation. You just like that is though the steps. Like that's the formal way to do it. In your class, they don't really care how you show your steps. So here's one more to look at. They want you to find the missing angle C this time.
So that 60 and 40.
Right.
Okay. And so Would it be C equals 80?
Equals 80, good, okay. Now, I just looked because I was just trying to figure out what else we could do from your, and we actually know enough to do a few more problems from your book there. So this is right from your book. This is literally a problem you might see, which is to find the missing angle.
Is it 64?
Is 64, good. So, all right, now just a little bit more kind of explanation here for this next problem that we're going to look at here. There's some symbols, some things that you need to be able to recognize. So this little square right here, this square, this box, it means 90 degrees. Okay, so you're supposed to know that. You're supposed to say, okay, that's 90 degrees when you see a box like that. Okay, and that's how you find this missing angle, because the three angles add up to 180. But if you didn't know what this box is, if you didn't realize that it represents 90, you wouldn't be able to solve for it. So go ahead and solve for the missing angle for us, please.
And it'll still always add up to 180?
Still adds up to 180. Always adds up to 180.
Is it 45?
It is 45, yes. Very good. Okay. So kind of like more geometry stuff here. Let me draw something here. This is just more background stuff. A, B, and C. Okay. There are three angles. Okay. There is angle A. So this symbol right here, which kind of looks like a less than, it means angle A. Okay. And then there's angle B. And then there's angle C. Okay. And you might think, well, what's the big deal? There's nothing confusing about that. Well, unfortunately, there's actually more than one way to refer to an angle. Okay. So in this same picture, I'm going to redraw the same picture. A, B, C. Angle BAC is the same as angle A. Okay, so how can that be? So when you use three letters to refer to the angle, the middle letter is the vertex. Okay, so if you can imagine starting at B, going to A, and then over to C. That's what this means right here. B to A to C. But you can also refer to it as just angle A. But in your book or in your class test, you may see both. Is that okay, or is that very unclear?
Mm, confusing.
Okay, this is just notation. This is just notation. So it's not math. It's just like the way we talk about things. Let's look at the triangle again here. A, B, C. Okay. So angle ABC is the same as angle B. And again, if you just draw kind of a path, like you start at A to B to C, okay, that's the same as angle B. All right. So you can use three letters, but that middle letter is the vertex. That middle letters. So there's two ways to refer to the same angle. Like you can use the single letter, or you can use three letters. And you might wonder, well, again, why would you use three letters? Well, we'll see that in a moment. Okay. Because sometimes it's not clear. It's not clear which one is actually B. And so that's where you got to just go with this for a moment. So now let's look at the triangle yet again. A, B, C. So angle BCA is the same as angle C. Okay, so let me grab just another highlighter here. So we start at B, go down to C, over to A. Well, this angle is the same as C. This one that I've drawn here to the right here is the same as angle C. So you can use three letters, but that middle letter is the vertex. Okay, now this is why it matters here, okay? So let me draw something else. A, B, C, and D. Okay. If I tell you angle A, you know that it's this one up here. Like there is no question about that. That's the only thing it could be referring to. Okay. But if I ask you about angle B, well, is it referring to this angle, or the whole thing? And we don't know. It's kind of like when we say the word it or things or stuff, like we're not specific enough. And that's what's going on here is like, you don't know whether B means the whole angle, this part over here, this part above here, we're not sure. So to avoid confusion, that's why you are supposed to use three letters. Okay, so let me draw this one more time here. And this is just me teaching. We're going to get to a problem, but like all this is needed to be able to get the problem here. To make sure I label this the same each time. All right. So I'm gonna write here angle A, B, D. So I'm starting at A, I'm going to B and ending at D. This is angle ABD. You start at the first letter, you traverse to the second middle letter, and then to the third. And then there's angle CBD, which is going the other way. It's starting down here at the bottom at C, going up to B, and then over to D. So there are three letters. Really, you want to always use 3 letters when you're looking at a triangle. I mean, that's just the best way to do it. All right. So let me see if I can find a couple of practice problems here before we just jump right into solving something else. I guess I can't find them. Okay, let me do a bit more here. It give me some feedback though, I guess. Is it gaining any clarity on just how to identify angles? Anything, is it more clear?
Kind of.
Kind of, okay. So again, like why, why does this even matter? It's because we're going to look at a problem now where where in the text, I'm going to grab the text here on the right. It says if measure of angle DAB, so DAB, do you see that on the right here? Measure of angle DAB.
Mm-hmm.
So what is that? Well, it's starting at D, going to A all the way to B. So it's this big angle. And see how that big angle already includes 55?
Mm-hmm.
So if we put like an X right there, X plus 55 must equal 115. Because the DAB is the big angle. So this X, which we don't know, plus the 55 must equal 115.
Okay.
Okay. Now, again, so why did we, reason we spent all that time learning how to solve is because once you can write an equation like this, you would um, you have to be able to solve it. So could you solve this for X for us, please?
How much was the whole thing?
Well, it's right here. The whole thing is 115. X plus 55 is 115.
S- 60?
X is 60. So the reason that's so important is that, well, that's one more angle in the triangle. All right. Now let's do the same thing on the other side. It says BCB is 95.
So it would be
So that's this whole thing. D to C to B is 95. So it's very similar. It's that, and you can
would
use
it also
an, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, would it also be 60 at the end?
It does. It ends up, and that's just this problem. It's not that.
Yeah.
Um,
So that's how you would solve it? If it
yes.
asked you or if it told you what BAC was or BCD, it would be like in the middle of those wherever the
Yes. So Y is 60.
that makes more sense.
All right, now, I don't even know what it's asking yet, but like we could, for example, find angle B now, because we know that the two angles in the triangle are 60 and 60. So how can we find the third angle?
I don't know.
Like what, how do we find angle B? The three angles in a triangle must add up to
Uh, I forgot.
180.
Okay.
So 60 plus 60 plus this other angle gets you to 180.
120? No.
You have to try to write the equation like I'm doing here. That you, if you're not writing something down, you can't visualize it. The numbers just,
Oh,
you know,
I
yeah,
I am
six,
writing down right now.
yeah, yeah. So 60 plus 60 is 120, and that's a number, but it's not the one we're looking for in this problem.
Oh no, but I minus 60 from 180 at the end and got 120 for some reason. I forgot to add the 60s together, but I was writing it down. So it'd be whatever 180 minus 120 is then. Would that be 60 again?
It is 60, yes. All right, now let's do the same thing for the bottom triangle. 55, 35. See how there's a bottom triangle down here? Can you find this missing angle D? You know, start by writing the equation. All the three angles in that triangle must add up to 180.
Is it 90?
So 55 plus 35 plus D equals 180. So 55 plus 35 adds up to 90. So yes, D is equal to 90. Good. All right. Now to do the rest of this, we have to review some vocabulary, stuff like that, with regards to triangles. And I think I tried to do this once before, and it's a lot. So like, do you want me to use this time to like go through vocabulary and identification of triangles, or do you want us to like keep working on kind of angle solving problems?
What do you think is going to be better for the test?
Solving. So
Okay.
let's look at some more solving problems. Okay. All right, so here's a new problem for you to look at. Here are three angles in a triangle, but there's no numerical values this time. There's no numerical values. Just 4x, 6x, and 2x. Okay. So what do the three angles in a triangle add up to?
180?
180. So 4x plus 6x plus 2x equals 180. So on the left here, do you see that you can add these together? They all have an X, so you can add all three of them together.
Yeah.
What
So
does
we're,
that,
let's see. 12?
12x, yeah. And then you can solve this equation. What do you do to solve this on the left side? Look at the left side only. What
Division?
division of 12? Okay, again, if you need to use a calculator, please do.
15?
15. Now, sometimes a problem like this will say to solve for x. Okay. That's sometimes. Sometimes they want you to find the angle. Okay. So I want you to find angle A. And you do that by putting this x value back in here. You take this x value 15, putting it back in 4 times x.
I'm confused.
Angle A is 4x. Do you know the value of x?
So would you times every side by 15?
You would take the expression, which is 4x, and put 15 in for x. So 4 times 15.
$60?
Equals 60. Angle B, could you calculate that for us, please?
$90?
Okay. And then do the same thing for angle C.
24?
Try again.
That's a 2-degree angle, right? Wait,
It's 2 times x, 2 times x,
30?
30. Now do
I put
these
it in
three
the
numbers,
calculator. I thought I think I
60,
pressed our button.
it's okay. Do these three angles add up to 180? It's 60 plus 90 plus 30, 180.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. All right, very good. Okay, so we're gonna look at a new problem now. Again, we're just solving. We're gonna try to write some equations and then solve. That's gonna help you the most here with this geometry stuff. Okay. All right, so in this problem, there's no triangle. It's just a straight line. This A to B is a straight line. Okay. And the straight line, if you go all the way around the straight line, that's 180 degrees. 180 degrees. So if you add up all three of these, they add up to 180 degrees. The 97, the X, and the 36, they all add up to 180 degrees. So I want you to write the equation and try solving it for X, please.
$47?
Okay. So we have 97 plus X plus 36 equals 180. And 97 plus 36 is 143 plus X equals 180. Subtract 143 from both sides.
Oh, I think I got 133 instead of 143. I'm doing a
Oh, wait, oh, I'm
calculator.
sorry.
Maybe
No,
I'm
no,
just
no, no,
pressing it wrong. Is
no,
it wrong?
I made the mistake here. Good
Oh,
catch. Sometimes wait to work them out until, so yes, it is 47. Good, really good. Okay, here is a similar problem. This A to B is again a straight line. Okay, which means that the angles all add up to 180 degrees.
they only give you one angle.
That's right, but they also give you X and X. So you can add all three of these up
Would
to
it be
equal
just
180.
so you do a 1 in front of the x's, so it'd be 2?
Yes, 1x plus 82 plus 1x equals 180. So it does become 2x. 82 plus 2x equals 180. And notice this is the type of problem that we were solving last time. So you
They
have to be
divide?
comfortable. Well, first you have to undo, look at the side with the variable, you have to undo addition of 82.
Oh, I forgot about that part. So you would subtract it from 180? So 98?
Okay, keep going. You're almost there.
And then divide that by 2. 49.
Okay, so x is 49. And
So
that is the
those are
A.
both the same angle?
They are, yes.
Okay.
Fantastic. All right. Okay. Do you remember from earlier, if you see this box, what does that mean when you see that box?
It's 90 degrees.
It's 90 degrees. Okay, so here's a new problem. And in this new problem, you see how there's a box here indicating 90 degrees. Okay, so that means that these three angles add up to what value?
90 degrees.
90 degrees. So I want you to try solving it either by setting it up or just working through the numbers, but the three angles add up to 90 degrees.
Is it 14?
Is 14. Good. X equals 14. Very good. Okay, so let me just set up an equation here that's a little more complicated, just to see if your comfort level in solving something like this. I'm just going to write it out here and see if you can help me navigate the steps here. So this comes from something else in geometry, but what do you see here in terms of solving it? Like, what do you see as the first thing to do to get X by itself?
Are there two sets of like terms? Do you add the 40 and
Yes.
60 and then also the 1x and 3x?
Yes.
So it would become 4x and then 100?
Yes. Okay, so go ahead and try solving it from here, please.
20.
Okay, X is 20 now. Let's imagine, let me go ahead and give you the picture. Because typically, like they will want you to not just find X, they will want you to use that in the picture. So could you put 20 in for each of these and let me know what you come up with?
So the top one is 60,
Okay,
and the bottom one would be, let's see, 20 times. And also be 60 plus 60. Let's see. 120.
excellent. So you add them together and get 180.
Okay.
Right, good. Okay, so let's just do, we got a few minutes left here. I want to do some solving multi-step equation stuff like we were doing last time. Just a quick review here, see if see what you remember, what do a couple of quick problems here. So here is an equation. How would you solve this for B?
I'm not sure.
Okay, what is the math operation between this number and B?
Multiplication.
Okay, so you undo multiplication with division and you divide by whatever number is in front of the variable. What number is in front of the variable?
So you would divide 48 by -8?
Yes, both sides by -8. Now
And that
48 is
because of,
positive. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say if there's only if it's like one number equals something, that's the only thing you really need to do. If it's like that, is you would just divide.
Yes.
Okay. So 48, positive 48 divided by -8, -6.
-6, good. We talked about it's better to put the variable on the left if you can. That's always a good thing. All right, let's try another one here for you to look at. These are one-step equations right now. We'll get to some two steps if we got time. All right, how do you solve something like this?
You would subtract 9 from 2. Would you just subtract 9? Would you subtract 2 from 9, or would you subtract 9 from 2 and make it a negative number?
You always look at the side with the variable. The side with the variable tells you what to undo. You
Okay,
have
so
addition by 9, you undo with subtraction by 9.
the -7. And then
is
that's just an A, so it's a 1, right? So it would just
That's
be,
right. Yeah, I mean, so some
yeah.
students write 1A and then they divide by 1 and divide by 1 and you still get -7. So you can, there's nothing wrong with it. All right.
Yeah, just the last step, but you could tell, if you get that it's the last step, because it would just be a 1 already.
That's right. That's right. When there's a 1 in front of the variable, you are completely done. Okay. This is a two-step equation now. Okay, but look at the side with the variable. Look at the right side. Do not get focused in on anything but the right side. That's what you care about. Multiplication by 3, addition by 6. Which do you undo first?
Addition.
Okay, so you subtract 6 from both sides. Tell me what the left side becomes.
-3 minus 6. 3.
Try again. They're both
Oh,
negatives. The answer is negative. Okay. And then because they're same
-3.
sign, you add the numbers
No,
together, 3 and 6.
so -9.
Yes. Okay. And again, your focus goes back to the side with the variable. Okay. You're like, how do I undo multiplication by 3?
So then you would divide -9 by as a +3, right?
Yes.
So -9 divided by +3 would be -3.
Equals -3. Good. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and stop there for today. If you have time,